Hello, my name is Miss Michaela and I am Anna's teacher. I want to start off by saying she is a pleasure to have in class. We have noticed that she tries to communicate with us as staff by grabbing our hand and pulling us over to what it is she needs help with and what she wants. So she is definitely trying to communicate. However, we have noticed that sometimes when she tries to interact with peers, it can be a little tough as she is unable to verbally communicate her needs and wants. When given her multi-step directions, she requires lots of redirection, so that is something that we will be trying to work on. She does understand single step requests and directions though. So if we say, hey, can you go do this? She can do that single step. And we will now be discussing her cognitive area of development. So she's able to rhyme, she knows her letters, she has strong blending skills. She knows the letters in her name and can write them in all uppercase letters. However, she does have some difficulty with lowercase letters, and she's unable to write sentences at this time, but again, we will work on that. She is having some trouble with letter sounds and segmenting words. With writing, she can write her own name, which is great, and she can write in a few uppercase and lowercase letters, so she has a little bit of a mix going on there, which is good. However, when she does her name, she only uses the uppercase letters, and again, she's unable to write the whole sentences. And for math, she can count to 7. She knows 1 to 5. She understands the concept of greater than. She's not able to yet add or subtract, and she's not quite sure how to do the less than or equal to. Again, all things that we can work on. In the physical area, so this will be her gross motor, her fine motor, vision, hearing, all of that lumped together. She can trace her name, which is fantastic, and do a 20-piece puzzle. She can use the utensils when eating, which is great. She can stand on one leg, she can spin, she can twist. We are working on how to correctly hold a pencil and write. We've noticed that she does like to be kind of forceful with it and push down too hard. She cannot yet build with the blocks or use scissors. Again, things we can work on. She cannot ride the 2-wheel bike or hop on 1 foot, but she can stand on 1 leg. So something we can work towards. And she's unable to do 2 motor actions at once. So like walk and throw a ball. Things that can be worked on with us. In her social and emotional behavior, she really does try to communicate. And she's not aggressive when she can't get her points across, which is fantastic. She doesn't really pay attention when her peers are near her, so she's not fully aware that they're there. And she's not yet ready to share or interact with them. So the first step we kind of want to do is get her used to the idea that there's people around her. So we may do hand over hand, handing things over to her peers and working with her in that area. She is aware of objects in her area, which is great. So she knows, like, if there's something there that she wants, she's aware that her peer has it. So it's kind of just getting her used to the idea that there is somebody there and that she needs to share with them. She is easily redistracted and requires lots of physical and verbal redirection, which I think having a one-on-one aid for her would really benefit that. They would be able to help redirect her and get her through the steps of the day. This way she's not falling behind and having difficulties in that area. And I think the sooner we do that, the sooner she will be able to work through doing all of these things and working towards these other goals, such as writing in upper and lowercase, doing the sentences. A 1-to-1 aid can also help on that. They can sit down and work with her when she starts to fall behind. Having an aid is not a bad thing. It's a tool that's put in place to help her work through where she's having problems and help her work up to being able to do multi-step directions and redirect her when she's distracted. So she's still getting as much out of class as the rest of her peers. And, excuse me, she would also be able to work with this aide to ask for help, whether it's verbally or gesturally asking help, or trying to communicate with her peers, tapping them on the shoulder, things like that. The aide would be able to help her with. I really feel that this would help. If you have any questions or concerns, please there's always an open line of communication, so feel free to reach out and I will share any developments that occur and if I notice any regression or anything, so that we can discuss possibly what's going on at home and figure out the best ways to help her.